Sunday. Let's play
I'm
something
sorry.
a little bit family friendly.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hello, and thank you for joining me for this episode of the Being Beautifully Honest podcast. So you just saw those clips from P. Diddy's Instagram Live where he was doing a dance-a-thon, and he was doing it for the Coco V, raising money for whatever. I don't know what, the money is going to go towards, but that's besides the point. This podcast episode is just talking about Lizzo, and I wanted to ask the question, do you feel that Lizzo is shoving the body positivity thing down people's throats? Like, is she forcing it on people? The reason I'm asking is because you saw the clips, you saw what happened, and then you also may or may not be aware of the fact that Lizzo is all about showing the majority of her body uncovered as much as she possibly can. And she does it on her Instagram. I don't follow her. I just see what I see from when, other people share things. I don't want to see it. And it's not something with me that I am against someone who is overweight. I don't like to call people fat because everybody has fat. You either have more of it or less of it, but fat is just something that people have. You're not fat. You're either underweight, overweight, just right, obese, slim. I'm a slim person, but I have fat on my body. It's just what it is. And some people who are overweight are extremely proud of it, and they want to flaunt it, and they love it, and they call it body positivity. Body positivity is one of those things that I don't really understand, because to be honest, a body positivity thing to me is that if you are feeling good about your body, then that's cool. But it shouldn't be something that you have to prove to other people and you have to show it off. That's just my opinion. But with Lizzo, you can clearly see that she is all about showing her skin, showing her body. She clearly did that when she went to the Lakers game several months ago, and she wanted to show her entire back, not showing the crack, but showing what was beneath. I don't say beneath, but filling in the crack with her thong, because she had her whole ass out and she was twerking at the game in front of everybody, and it was a big spectacle. I don't think anybody who is slim or overweight should have done that, but she did it. So I feel like got embarrassed because she seemed like she was a little bit, embarrassed, because she was saying, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then she, said, "Oh, well, play something that I can bop to." But people were coming at P. Diddy, and he, I'm not the biggest fan of his, and it has nothing to do with the women that he chooses or his relationships or stuff like that. I don't really care about those things. But I'm on his side with this, where I don't feel like he should have had to come out and give a disclaimer or an explanation about why he told her to stop. Because people are allowed to have preferences. There is nothing wrong with people having preferences. Some people like people who are short. Some people like people who are tall, dark, and handsome. Some people like people with curly hair. Some people like people with straight hair. Some people like people with light skin. Some people like people with dark skin. It's personal preferences that I feel like, especially with stuff like this, people are getting shamed into not liking to see something. And with Lizzo, she is almost always doing something where she is completely buck naked, and she's trying to show herself in a way where it's not completely exposing everything, but she might as well do that because she's always doing it. The first time she did it, it may have been like, oh wow, she's not afraid to be whatever. She's not afraid to just be out there and show people like, this is what I look like beneath the layers. if you are into that and you feel like it's artistic or whatever and you wanted to do that, then you did it. But she's always doing it. And then when people say something about it, like when Dr. Boyce Watkins, he made some things, several videos, to be honest with you. He did a lot of videos talking about her. But he did videos about her, and she called him out on social media, which probably just got him a whole lot more followers, because you know how that is. And then when Jillian Michaels made a statement about Lizzo, and it's like, why are we always talking about her weight? Like, why can't it be about her talent? Why can't it be about the music? I 100% agree with that. But there were some people that were saying that Jillian Michaels was wrong for what she was saying, when Jillian was actually having a conversation in an interview with someone, and someone brought Lizzo up. Jillian Michaels didn't even bring up Lizzo. So that wasn't even the topic of discussion. She was just answering a question, and she was answering it honestly. And I like the fact that she stuck to her guns. She stood her ground when she was asked about it again. And she said, look, I said what I said. I meant what I meant. And that's all to it. I don't hate the girl, but I am someone who is a fitness expert and a health expert. So why would I celebrate somebody being obese? And she is. Lizzo is obese. And being obese is not a profane word. It's not calling her, the C word, or calling her a bitch or anything like that. It's what she is. She is obese. She is overweight, period. Her body mass index is way over what it should be. She's a beautiful person. I don't think people like to hear the thing is, oh, she has a beautiful face, but let's be honest, she does have a pretty face, but she could be healthier, and she is not. She celebrates the fact that she is large and right now in charge, because you know how it is, you're hot for a minute and then you're not later. So she's riding the wave, and she's continuing to put herself out there to always show her body. And I just feel like she is shoving the body positivity thing down people's throats. And now P. Diddy had to come out and say, she's beautiful. Had nothing to do with her twerking. It was just, it's Easter Sunday. This is supposed to be family friendly, and the music and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like if he just came out and said, even if he didn't say it in a rude and nasty way, that look, I wasn't into it, what she was doing. I really didn't want to see that. So I just asked her to shut it down. And I tried to be calm about it. I didn't call her a name. I just was like, look, cut that out. Stop. And just be honest about it. But because this society is all about cancel culture and wanting to call people out based on their opinions about things, a lot of times it's just based on the opinions of other people. It's not the fact that something was just so completely wrong that this person needs to be called out and canceled and not supported in some way. And in the time that we're living in, not that Diddy ever has to worry about money ever again in his lifetime, but in this time that we're living in during this Coco V crisis, nobody should be canceled, because everybody needs to be able to survive. Everybody needs to be able to live, whether they are someone that you love or you hate. I'm just not sure as to why people had to come at P. Diddy and say, oh, she was twerking and you told her to stop, but Drea was doing it and you didn't tell her to stop and you were enjoying it. And okay, Drea, let's just be honest, if you look at Drea and you look at the people that P. Diddy was in previous relationships with, who looks more like his type? Does Lizzo look more like his type, or does Drea look more like his type? So he, of course, would not have told Drea to stop, because that is the type of female that he is into. Period. I mean, isn't that the truth? Look at his past relationships. Let's just go down the list and you can see some of the images here. He is into what he is into, and I don't feel that he should be called out for it and should be made to want to see something that he is just not that into. And I don't feel like Lizzo respects people's preferences. She shoves it down people's throats. And now I know You don't have to follow her on social media. I don't follow her on social media, and I don't want to see that. But because you have headlines and you have articles and you have videos and things that show up in your feed, it gets pushed in my face because I'm not seeking it out. It comes to my site, whether I want to see it or not. Am I going to sit and dwell on it? No, I don't do that. So, but I've seen it, whether I wanted to see it or not. And that's what she is doing, because a lot of the things that she does in some way, some shape, some form will go viral on a smaller scale or a larger scale. It will be shown and shared by others. So whether you wanted to see it or not, you have to sometimes glance at it and see it because it has gone viral in some way. It's not that you're seeking it out, it's seeking you. So her constantly showing off her body, it is old. I don't care if she was someone that was slim, she was someone that was just completely toned. I don't want to see anybody's body all the time. That's just me. That's my preference. I don't want to see anybody's body all the time. And I am someone who is smaller, and I had a child that gave my body some stretch marks. I could not help that. That was something that I couldn't help. But you know what? There's some people that are not into stretch marks and they don't want to see that. I would never force someone to see what I have going on with my body because it's there. I am feeling good about it and you need to accept it. This is my body positivity and I'm going to show it off at all costs, at all times when I am able to. And that's something that I can't help. Whereas Lizzo, she can't help being the size that she is. And I'm not saying she has to go and have surgery to have, the weight loss happen in her life, but she's forcing people to accept something that, to be honest, I don't even feel that she's 100% happy with. I just don't. Just because someone continuously shows something off all the time does not mean that it's something that they are proud of. Sometimes it just means that they've settled because they feel like there may not be much hope. And she has access to so much that she could slim her body down. Not saying she has to go to be a size 4 or 2 or even a 6, but being healthier and losing some weight would not hurt her. It actually will help her. It will help her to perform better. It would probably help her to sing better and play her instrument, which she's a specialist in the flute playing, a little better, because that's just going to help her health, help her breathing, the oxygen flow, and all of that good stuff. But, that's neither here nor there. But I just feel like sometimes with all that she does, and she does a lot, she is shoving the body positivity down people's throats, whether they want to see it or not. And then if somebody says something about it, then she wants to clap back. But I don't think that P. Diddy owed anyone an apology or owed anyone an explanation in this situation. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but you can let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. Do you feel that Lizzo is forcing the body positivity down people's throats, or do you just feel that, look, she's just being happy and free? She's not thinking about anybody else, and because she's not thinking about anybody else, that's why she's just living the life that she's living and doing what she feels like doing. So it has nothing to do with trying to offend people or trying to cause people to accept and enjoy all the layers that she has to offer. So those are just my thoughts on it, guys. You let me know how you feel about it. So thanks so much for joining me for this episode of the Being Beautifully Honest podcast. This is the Minister of Beauty, here to share the Bible. That's business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. So until the next episode, I hope you all have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.